Dobre. Sve jedno mi je, kažete gdje sam ja predviđena. To je vaše.
Streaminga možda bolje sednete.
Aha, dobro.
Mislim se nećete vidjeti.
Može. Možda ne želimo da se vidimo. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to start. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us on the second day of Circle U Days. We are starting this morning with two parallel sessions. This session will be dedicated to European university alliances and their relationship with our region. We are going to discuss about opportunities and challenges today. I'm presenting you three panelists, Professor Boštjan Markoli to my immediate left side, who is Vice Rector of University of Ljubljana and representing here Utopia Alliance, Professor Sabina Halupka-Rešetar, who is Vice Rector of the University of Novi Sad and presenting EUGLO. I will kindly ask her when she presents to tell us a little bit more about the alliance. And Stefan Malbasic, who is coming from Circle U Students' Union and also University of Belgrade. Thank you very much for kindly agreeing to share your thoughts today with us. We are going to start briefly with presentations, 5 to 7 minutes. We have very short time for this session, so let us all be effective so we can also have some space for the question and answers. So in the beginning, I will ask Professor Markoli, since Utopia is the alliance who is now in the second round of the financing, so we could name it Old Alliance, and your university is there from the beginning, leading also the program of the Western Balkans on Southeastern Europe. Tell us a little bit more about the challenges, how your university fitted into, how you did you get anything from the membership, what were the challenges for you, and tell us a little bit also about the goal which you have, since you are, as we are, decentralized university, and the goal is to go towards centralization. What are the challenges there, and also do you have support from your state authorities, minister in this? So many questions, but let us see.
Hopefully I memorize all of them, you know. Good morning. Apparently I'm the oldest guy here on the panel, so coming from the oldest university alliance. So the Utopia Alliance is a 10-university alliance. We are now in the second round of the Utopia More. Before it's been labeled as Utopia 2050. So when it comes to challenges, there are many challenges, of course, but due to the pandemics, we were unable to achieve all our goals. Some of them we have, so we have tested our governance structure, which was very important. We have set up a quality assurance system. We have devised the connected learning communities, which is, that's what they told me, something new to the university field. And when it comes to achieving all the other goals, we were, as I said, hindered by pandemics, because there were a lot of student exchange and staff exchange planned in the first Utopia, or the round number 1. We couldn't get there, but now in the round 2 we are stepping up and we are trying to catch up on what we couldn't achieve in the first round. So the second round, which was awarded a couple of months ago to us, was, of course, supported by the Ministry of Higher Education, because what a good luck that our ex-rector, previous rector, was actually the initiator of the Utopia together with others, and now he's a Minister of Higher Education, so he should be supporting his own work. So when it comes to challenges related to the Western Balkans and Southeast Europe, we are working together with the University of Belgrade and University of Rijeka on projects which would help and promote the young postdocs to engage their project engagement themselves, so to enable them and empower them with the knowledge they need to get projects, and maybe we should also consider combining the ideas that you have shown here yesterday within the Circle U, what Professor Mendelssohn told about the startups. And all in all, this first round experience was very good. It was challenging, of course, for our university because we didn't have the experience before that with alliances that big. At the beginning, there were only 6 universities. Now there are 10 universities, which is even more challenging because you don't know the new universities. And as you pointed out, or some of the panelists yesterday, you have to talk to each other, get to know each other, so that you can understand the way things are working at their universities. And this is what we're trying to do with the Western Balkans as well. Well, we are culturally close, thank God. We know each other, but there are differences still, and we would like to even out those differences and make it easier for universities from the Southeastern Europe or Western Balkans region to adhere closely, even more to the EU policies within the higher education. That's a short one. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This was really meaningful in the short time. You mentioned that you're working with our university, University of Belgrade and University of Rijeka. Those were, until recently, those were only 3 universities which were part of European University Alliances, but we are happy to have a new member from our region that is also joined one of the European Alliances. So I will ask Professor Halupka Rešetar to tell us a little bit more. How did you get invitation in the second round? Is it difficult to catch the step with what everything is happening with these alliances? And how meaningful is being member of alliances for your own activities at university? But also having in mind that the core of your topic, of the topic of your alliance is health. And this is obviously, it is multidisciplinary topic, but still, how do you see inclusion different disciplines into this? And in the end, do you have a support from autonomous or state authorities for such big thing?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So I would like to briefly present the alliance we have recently become a member of. The alliance is called UGLO 2.0, and it is an alliance of European universities for global health. It brings together 9 universities from across Europe with outstanding expertise in global health. These 9 universities are University of Paris-Saclay, obviously from France, Lund University from Sweden, University of Szeged from Hungary, University of Porto from Portugal, Ludwig Maximilians University from Germany, University of Alcalá from Spain, the Arctic University of Norway, University of Novi Sad, and the University of Hamburg from Germany. And this is, as my colleague said, an expanded alliance. So we joined the alliance in the second round. In the first round, there were 5 universities. This time around, there are 9. Back in 2021 and in 2020, several alliances reached out to us, and we had numerous meetings, and in the end we decided to join this alliance because we found their visions and objectives to align with our visions and objectives to the highest degree. The Alliance is aimed at conceiving health globally and transdisciplinarily. And so it addresses numerous fields which all contribute to a better understanding of the societal challenge which we normally term global health. It requires the future of medicine to be predictive, preventive, participative, and personalized, and is also capable of addressing emerging diseases. It draws on big data, artificial intelligence, and robotics. And so it includes digital health and technologies for health and well-being. It also tackles climate change, environmental hazards and biodiversity, and also social and human sciences for global health, such as medicine, epidemiology and public health, but also health economics and health management, health policies and systems, and also law, ethics and responsible research, and last but no less importantly, healthy life and well-being, including sports, nutrition and related topics. So I hope to have shown that the Alliance is focused on a highly multidisciplinary topic, and this should allow easy and smooth participation of researchers and students of all faculties, research centers, departments existing within the University of Novi Sad. When it comes to the challenges of joining the Alliance, as a new member, I can say that we appear to have blended into the Alliance well, because in the first round there were obviously many good things, but there are also not so good things, which in the new round with the new partners have become even more of a challenge to sort out. But I think we are on the right track. So we're actually building the Alliance all over again, trying to avoid the mistakes that have been noticed in the first round, and also including and adapting to the old partners, and the old partners adapting to the new partners. I think we have already proven to be a worthy partner in the Alliance across all the dimensions of the knowledge square, so education, research, innovation, and service to society. And we believe, when it comes to the advantages of joining this Alliance, we believe that we will have numerous benefits from from the Alliance and from joining the Alliance, but we also believe that the other partners will have benefits from our joining the Alliance. As for the University of Novi Sad, we are certain that joining the Alliance will aid the internationalization of the University of Novi Sad by enabling constant exchange of ideas and practices between the old and the new partners. And this will result in co-created and joint courses and later whole study programs, a wider cooperation with external stakeholders, more opportunities for virtual and physical mobilities for both students and researchers, better and more extensive service to society, and many other benefits which, for lack of time, I will not be able to list, but which should make significant contributions to the European education area, the European research area, and the European health area. And when it comes to support and funding, needless to say, the University of Novi Sad has by far the lowest budget of all the partners. And since the European Commission requires 20% co-financing by the partner universities, we reached out to both the Ministry of Education of the Republic of Serbia and the Provincial Secretariat for Higher Education and Scientific Research, and we are very happy to say that we have reliable partners in both these institutions. In fact, the Secretariat, the Provincial Secretariat, is also our associated partner within the Alliance.
Thank you very much. This all sounds very promising, and good luck with the further
Thank you. We are very excited.
initiatives. Now we have a representative, one of the representatives of the students here with us, Stefan. Can you tell us a little bit more from the student perspective, what does it mean for you being a partner, or your university being a partner of European University Alliance, and how do you cope with this, and what are the challenges, opportunities that you see for students within the alliances?
So, ladies and gentlemen,
just a mic.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, esteemed vice rectors, and fellow students. It's an honor to address you today and share my perspective as Vice President at Students' Parliament of University of Belgrade and Circle U Student Union Ambassador. As a student at University of Belgrade, I stand before you to discuss opportunities and challenges that Circle U Alliance presents to us. Sorry. So I stand before you to discuss opportunities and challenges that Circle U Alliance presents to us. The Circle U Alliance signifies a significant milestone in European higher education, fostering cooperation and synergy among 9 leading universities across Europe. For us, the students, this alliance opens up a world of possibilities. One of the key opportunities lies in enhanced mobility programs. The Alliance enables us to experience diverse academic and cultural environments, broadening our horizons and enriching our educational journey. It offers us the chance to study abroad, exchange ideas with international peers, and gain a truly global perspective. Moreover, the Circle U Alliance promotes joint study programs and research programs, providing us with the opportunity to engage in interdisciplinary collaborations. This interdisciplinary approach encourages innovation, creativity, and critical thinking, preparing us to tackle complex challenges of the 21st century. By combining our knowledge and expertise from different fields, we can address societal issues and contribute to finding sustainable solutions. However, along with these opportunities come certain challenges. One of the primary challenges we face is ensuring seamless integration and coordination among universities within the Alliance. As students, we would greatly benefit from streamlined administrative processes, credit transfers, and harmonized curriculums. Efforts should be made to establish clear guidelines and frameworks that facilitate smooth transition between universities, enabling us to maximize the benefits of this collaboration without unnecessary obstacles. Furthermore, it is crucial to ensure equitable access to Circle U Alliance initiatives and resources for students for all participating universities. We should work toward removing any potential barriers that could hinder equal opportunities for all students to participate in mobility programs, research projects, and other alliance activities. This inclusively will foster a sense of unity, mutual understanding, and shared academic growth among students. Lastly, I would like to convey a message to vice rectors present here today. We, the students, believe that strong collaboration among universities within the Circle U Alliance is vital for the future of higher education in Europe. This alliance has the potential to become a catalyst for transformative change, promoting excellence, innovation, and internationalization. We urge the vice rectors to invest in building strong relationship, fostering open communication channels, and providing adequate resources to facilitate effective collaboration among the universities. Together, we can create vibrant academic community that nurtures talent, stimulates creativity, and equips students with skills needed to thrive in an interconnected world. Let us seize the opportunity to shape the future of European higher education and make the Circle U Alliance a catalyst for positive changes. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan, very much. Good message, obviously. Before giving the floor to the audience, since we have some more time, I would just like briefly to say something and maybe to invite also you to comment. University of Belgrade, this is what Boštjan actually mentioned, the University of Belgrade together with University of Rijeka, who is member of UFE, Young Universities of Europe, has worked recently in past year, actually, in the framework of Rectors Forum of Southeast Europe and Western Balkans to initiate more cooperation within this region. And this is also one of the reasons why this panel today is here, because it is really challenging for universities within the region to, let's say, to get into the track of European university alliances and broader university cooperation, having in mind that I think that we can all agree that financing in our country is very insufficient for what we are striving to do and what are our ambitions. We have very good teaching staff. We also have very good researchers. University of Belgrade is the largest research university in the region, having in mind that it has 11 universities, 11 institutes, and I'm actually representing one of these institutes, which is coming from the field of social sciences and humanities at University of Belgrade. But it is difficult, and all these universities, and happily, I have to say that I'm happy that University of Novi Sad also joined these three, so we have now 4. These universities already have a strong history and tradition, and there is a lot of energy invested into international cooperation, into working within Erasmus Plus program, within other Horizon programs, and trying to establish connections with other universities, their members, and try to boost research and teaching in quality of these 2 aspects of our universities here in the region. And obviously these universities managed to do, there's some more that are still striving to do, but there is a lot of time and energy still left to be invested in order to get into this, for the moment, let us say exclusive alliances, but obviously they are becoming a future of European university field area in a way. So we see this as very important. That is why actually within the Rectors Forum, and I'm coordinating this on behalf of the University of Belgrade activities, the next forum will be in September at the University of Rijeka, which is celebrating 50 years of its foundation, so this was a good occasion. We initiated actually several working groups that are going to meet in June, thanks to the funds from Utopia, to see what would be the priorities of the regional, within this region, cooperation, and what can be done actually in the several aspects of our work, which is focusing on the policies, on the research, and I would say on the quality of the programs which we have within our universities. So this is important topic for us in any possible sense, and being part of University alliances is bringing also challenges. I mean, we always have challenges, but even more, I would say, a lot of opportunities for us working here as a staff, but also for our students, as you could say, also from what Stefan presented, but also from the presentation which you have heard yesterday, how important it is to involve our students and to give them a chance to do something on the high quality level. So I'm inviting you if you also have something to add on this.
Well, I would like to completely agree with Stefan on the importance of the student and student participation in all of these alliances. I think students should be at least as much part of the alliances and anything that goes on within the alliances as the researchers. And I think that if the coronavirus and the pandemic has taught us anything, it's that we can work long distance, we can work online. Of course, I think researchers would be more open to this kind of mobility. I think students would appreciate more physical mobility still. And this is a huge challenge for us, because with the Erasmus Plus mobilities that we have assigned to our country and the universities within it, we are, of course, in a very unfavorable position compared to the other partners who have lots of funding, various kinds of foundations and various sources for funding. So I think this is something that we should really try to strive for students to get more mobilities, more opportunities to work with each other physically, so face to face. Another thing that you mentioned is the challenges that we face when it comes to policies. And yes, for developing joint programs and courses, many policies have to be aligned. If it's 9 countries in an alliance, you can imagine how much work that requires. So I think, yeah, we are yet to work on this, and I think the 4-year period is not going to be enough to level everything out. But I think this only goes to say that we need more time, and I hope that in the next round of calls, the alliances will perhaps be even stronger, and that we will get used to adapting to each other also in the terms of policies, and we'll be closer to coming up with joint programs, joint degrees, and everything else that the alliances strive for.
Thank you very much. I could only sign what you have said. I'm now opening the floor for the questions. So as you have learned from yesterday, you can ask your questions. Yeah, okay.
Also, we are asking ourselves the same question many times.
Yeah, thank you. We're asking that same question ourselves as well. So the final goal should be the European degree, you know. So that once you've done your studies at any of the universities of the Alliance, you should be issued a standard European degree or diploma. But I think we'll still far away from that. So as you mentioned, there's a national regulation attached to each university, and it has to be leveled out before you can issue, and then the recognition of exams is also a problem. When it comes to issue a diploma, who's going to sign a diploma? That's the problem. In our case, the rector has to sign. In the other university, the rectors don't sign the diplomas or put the signature on, and then they would say they are not allowed to sign or put the signature on our diplomas and stuff like that. So there's a lot of, administrative hindrance, in the whole process. So I think it's going to take much more time to level things out in this respect. So and then it comes to question that you raised. What about the other alliances, huge ones like EUA, UNICA, UNIADRIAN, and so on and so forth? So why joining another network? And we have discovered, myself, when I took over the office, that we have one activity too many. So there's really a lot of things going on, a lot of initiatives, and a lot of policy papers circling around. It's difficult to keep track with everything, So that's one problem, and the other one is that we usually overpromise when we start with an alliance, and we just to discover that the funds are too small to deliver all the goals, and that's sometimes frustrating as well. So the final, my conclusion would be just to press on, try to get the stakeholders on the boat with you so that they understand what you're doing, and then that the national policies in higher educational field are adapted so that they're comparable with the others. So this would be a great step forward, because usually the researchers and the staff or lecturers or students, they can exchange, they can mingle, they can do anything together. But when it comes to issuing papers, you have problems immediately. Someone would say, well, we can't do this, we can't do that. We have to have a recognition from the ministry, others don't. Some even have to have the recognition or consent from the parliament, like in case of Sweden and so on. So this is a lot of work still ahead of us, and we just have to, dig in, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. I saw that hand, and then, please.
Well, the difficulties at the beginning were to set up a governance structure in the first place, so to see how to manage the whole alliance. The round one for us was also very challenging because we were the coordinators of the alliance. And this was something that we did for the first time. So we had to set up a Utopia office. You have to hire people. You have to find people that have competences in projects like that, and that's no easy task, believe me. So that was one of the things, before you can get your hands on what you actually want to do with your goals. And then just as we started, doing our job, then the pandemics came around and all came to a halt, Then we had to switch to online teaching and so on and so forth. And the student exchange came to a stall. And that was a great challenge because, as we heard before, students do want to have a physical exchange. You can't replace that. It's that simple. You have to have that feel, you have to go there to see it for yourself. And the same goes for me as well. I don't want to be online all the time, because you're somewhat detached from the what's going on. And you don't feel that what you're doing is really something that it's part of you as well. So I like the being present, being on site. So the second round, we know what we did wrong. Also, the reporting, the audit, that's a difficult thing, as well. So the accounting problems that we had. So this has been taken care of now, and I'm hoping that because another year has been added to the round two, so it's 4 years now, but 4 more universities, so 4 more problems, 4 more different things on board. So I think it's going to be as challenging as the round one, so the round two as well. So that's it.
Well, the University of Novi Sad was not part of the UGLO alliance in the first round, but we do see, and we have heard from our old partners, that there have been many changes also in terms of governance. In the first round, the Université Paris-Saclay was the coordinator. In the second round, there are 2 universities, so the University of Munich is a co-coordinator. And also, in terms of the work packages within the project, each work package is now managed by one university and co-managed by another one. So in a sense, all the partner universities are taking responsibility for the whole project, for the work packages. So there have been many changes, but as my colleague said, leveling out with the new partners in terms of the policies and these administrative issues, that's still an ongoing struggle.
We have one more raised hand, and we also have two questions here, so
I come from Aarhus University. My name is Maria, and I forgot your name.
It's Sabina.
I was really pleased to hear that you stressed the importance of actually student mobility, because we've had a lot of nice learning in this project. I've been dealing with the challenge package, but there's been a lack of emphasis on students' mobility, because the students are the change makers of the future. So if you're looking at challenges and opportunities, I think the major opportunities is to provide more funding and put more emphasis on the student mobility. So that would be a comment, and I would like to hear your further elaboration on this.
I would just maybe add what is the one of the questions here, which goes actually together with your how much are students in this case aware of alliances of its own university and how they get the message. Is it hard also for the staff? But in this case, let's focus a little bit on students.
Okay, thank you for this comment and the question. In our case, since we are new partners, and so the new alliance, the new project has only started on January the 1st, we have been putting together the team, like the core of the project since then, and we started actually before that. But when it comes to involving the students and staff, we are really working hard on that. We're going to have a UGLO week just to make it even more official and to try to spread the word about the UGLO Alliance. That's happening on the last week, so May 29th until the 4th of June. So we're going to have presentations of the Alliance at our faculties within the university and also on campus. And there have already been activities initiated by the partner universities which the students could apply for. So in a sense, some students already know about, many students already know about the Alliance, and also researchers, because they have also had the opportunity to team up with their colleagues from other universities to enroll into staff week exchanges. We are also organizing a blended intensive program at the end of May, beginning of June. So we have also invited our partners from within the Alliance, but also partners from other places, not only from within the Alliance. So we are working hard on spreading the word, because we think that it's really, really important for students and also for staff to participate in this Alliance and in all the various activities, because the opportunities are literally endless. There have been so many calls and so many opportunities for participating in online lectures, webinars. We have also organized one so far, and also exchanges, physical exchanges, and blended mobilities also.
Stefan, could you share from the student perspective?
Yeah, I just would like to add something. So since I'm the new Circle U Student Union ambassador, I have a lot of issues to catch up with all informations. But at this moment, I would like to leverage the power of student organization and unions, since I'm... Okay, sorry. I would like to leverage the power of student organization and unions, since I'm member of Assembly of Student Conference of University of Serbia, SCONUS. I think that we should work on promoting Circle U Alliance through events and webinars, and like Professor mentioned. I think that we can organize events that will ensure that our students are well informed about this alliance and opportunities it has. Also, when students witness the positive effect on their peers, I think that they will be more likely to explore about this alliance themselves.
And if I may just add, at the University of Novi Sad, even before we became formally a part of the Alliance, our students from future partner universities came on a road trip to the University of Novi Sad in order to get to know about the university. And we were also very diligent, and we quickly set up a local student board. So we already have that in place, which some of the other new partners do not have yet. So we put up a local student board, and we have representatives from each and every faculty from within the University of Novi Sad in this local student board, and its president is also a member of the International Students Board of the Alliance. So we already can say that our students are really active in this local student board, and they are the ambassadors of the Alliance within their own faculties.
I would like to answer the other question. Actually, the first one. Is it so when it comes to recognition of diplomas? Yes, I think that in some cases rethinking of the foundations should be done. You know, it's sometimes the process of recognition of diplomas is somewhat outdated. You know, and certain steps are there that actually don't have any meaning any longer. You know, and it's obsolete, and it should be left out. You know, so definitely I agree with that. It should be we should be rethinking about that. So may I just
external to what?
Yeah, external partners deeply involved in Utopia Alliance. You want me to be honest? I will. So not that much, you know. Actually, we are. Let's put it this way: struggling actually with the idea what to do with the external partners, you know. So we have 4 external partners, or global partners. That's what we call them. And we've met with the Monash University. We've met with the Gyeongbuk from South Korea, and I think one is in Morocco, and the other one is from South Africa, Stellenbosch University, I guess. So it's picking up the momentum now after the pandemics. So we met, and now we are working hard with the ARUA on the clusters of excellence, also within the Utopia. So and I can see that the other alliances are having a hard time to involve those partners in projects. I can understand that because I've seen it in Utopia as well. So it's no easy task, and once you got them on board, you have to offer something to these global partners or external partners, not just talk about what would you like to do, but you have to do it then eventually. So it takes a lot. You have to have staff behind you yourself. It's not just one-man band. You know, you can't do it on your own. It's a lot of effort.
Sabina, would you like to say something maybe about recognition of diplomas and rethinking the foundation of educational system?
I totally agree with Boštjan on this. Many of the procedures are extremely time-consuming. So I think if we really want to achieve this goal within the Alliance, and if it's also something that the participating states would like to achieve, then we definitely have to rethink the process of acknowledging and actually of recognizing diplomas issued by the partner universities, and to really come up with some simple steps that will allow us to achieve this goal, even if it's not within the 4 years, maybe the +2 would be appropriate. So that would be really, really important, because that's ultimately what all the alliances are striving to achieve, one of the goals of setting up these alliances.
Would you say that maybe having this problem, obviously in all alliances, aligning different regulations, would you maybe see the future in joining different alliances in efforts to pressurize their authorities, or to raise this issue on the European level to see how to commonly solve the issue?
Well, I suppose the European Commission can make, I mean, we can make suggestions to the Commission, and then the Commission can make suggestions to the governments, but ultimately it's going to be the decision
Up to
of
government.
each individual government.
Okay. Since we have a few more minutes, we were very efficient. I want just to ask one final question to all of the panelists, since this panel was dedicated to European University Alliance and the region. Do you see, like colleague said, in terms of 2030, do you see that participation in alliances helped our higher education in the region, or you will see maybe that there are some who are more excellent and others who are actually staying on some level which will not achieve competence to other structures in the Europe? So do you see the gap increasing or somehow helping to close the gap within the region? So this is for all of you. And
Between the alliances or between the partnering universities within an alliance?
within universities which are in the region, which are not for the moment part of alliances. So we have, for example, Belgrade, Novi Sad in Serbia, but we have also several major universities which maybe at this moment are not at that level, but you know, having this experience and joining the alliances in, let's say, 7 years, do you see this gap will increase, or maybe there is something that?
Well, I don't know. What I do know, what I do expect is that universities who are parts of alliances will obviously be more open to and will be more experienced about the European higher education system, the whole higher education area and the research area. When it comes to the universities which are not members of the alliances, I can only hope that the ones that are partners in the alliances will be open for cooperation with them and pass on some of the conclusions that they have reached within the alliances and some of the benefits that they have from the alliance.
Well, I think it's the duty of the universities within the alliance to help the others, you know. So this is what the whole point of the rectors forum and rectors platform is about. So to draw in the others that haven't had that opportunity to be a part of alliance. So this is what we are actually trying to do, to spread out the word and to help them out to align with the policies of the EU, to be on the same track as well, and not to lose too much time. And this is simply something that we have to do. It's our duty, I suppose, and we're going to do it.
Thank you. Stefan, do you think that your experiences can inspire, somehow empower other students, for example, in Serbia?
Well, first of all, I would like totally to agree with vice rectors, as they said. I hope that this alliance in few years will spread their network and much more universities will become part of this alliance. And when it comes to students, I think that there are a lot of opportunities for them, so we will ensure that all our students are well informed and to take some projects within Alliance.
Well, thank you.
Just one more thing, you know, it's the European Commission has the idea to increase the number of alliances. So this is not the final number. It's over 40 now, but they're aiming at 60 or something. So I think all the others that have been left out, so to speak, are going to be catched into the net of the new alliances in the future. So I suppose that it's going to pick up most of the universities that have been left out, and that's a good thing, I suppose.
Thank you. If we can send one message from this panel, I would say that there is the future of universities without joining the forces and working together, also with a very important role of the students, who are obviously the purpose of existing universities. So thank you very much for joining this panel. And now we should actually have a joint session for the other colleagues. Okay. So we can have a short break until they join us, and then we will present briefly what we discussed in these two parallel sessions. Again to present briefly the discussion which we had in two parallel groups. The first discussion, which I'm going to briefly present, was about European University Alliances and its challenges and opportunities when it comes to our region. We had three panelists, Vice Rector from University of Ljubljana representing Utopia, Vice Rector from University of Novi Sad presenting UGLO, and a student who is a member of Student Alliance of Circle U. So we discussed primarily how the whole process initiated and how it was difficult or easy to join the alliances, and apparently this was not so big step when it comes to how to settle and how to set the structure and organization of alliances. We had Utopia, who is there from the first mandate, first cycle of European University Alliances, while University of Novi Sad joined only now in this last cycle. So obviously we have those who can share with us the experiences, how it went, and Boštjan, who unfortunately was left now, he shared how the University of Ljubljana, who actually coordinated the setting, the alliance, their alliance had the issue in setting the management board, how to function it. So all these like birth issues were shared for the moment. But all of them have very enthusiastic about the importance and meaningfulness of joining alliances, and how important it is, especially from the student perspective, to have a chance to have information, to circulate around, to promote mobility and promote different initiatives which are linked to the specific packages of all these alliances. What could be also mentioned is that there is, and I think this is for me was the biggest impression, that there are huge challenges when it comes to the policy level. So issuing diplomas, setting joint programs, all this requires very strong administrative efforts, which are somehow complicated and maybe dull in a way, but have to be done. And also it requires adjustment of the national level policies when it comes to how diploma will look like, who will sign diplomas, who will issue diplomas. So all these pose certain challenges to all these alliances which are now struggling with this. And apparently it would be good to coordinate actions and to pressure a little bit also own the government, but also European Commission to help in making, let's say, unique response to these challenges. There was also the question about the meaning of the alliances for our region, because the panel was about our region, and it was emphasized that we believe that experience of several universities now, and for the moment in the region we have 4 who are participating in different European alliances, will actually help the others through the Rectors Forum of Southeast Europe to share experience and to help others to, let's say, step into this track also, because we all believe that European University Alliances are actually the future of the higher education development, and this is something which is obviously important not to be left aside of this. So sharing the experience within the country with those who are not the members, but also within the regional networks, is something which is good and should be encouraged in a way. And finally, there was also the issue of having too many alliances as being partner, because there is European University Alliance, there is different alliances which are not European University Alliances, but still gather many universities in different networks. So profiling of what is the most useful and how different universities, different network functions is something which could help actually each of the university to efficiently use these resources, not only financial but also human resources, in order to be able to respond to all the demands which this participation requires. So I would say this was the issues which we have discussed in the first panel. If somebody has something to add, I would be happy. If not, I would let Alexandra to share their insights.
Thank you. The other panel was concerned with the global health education at the University of Belgrade and some of the biggest conundrums and challenges in this field. As we have learned, there are many of them, but we are really trying very hard together to overcome these challenges. So at this workshop we had 6 panelists, Professor Vesna Bjegović-Mikanović and Professor Bojana Matejić from the Faculty of Medicine, University of Belgrade, Professor Dušanka Krajinović from the Faculty of Pharmacy, University of Belgrade, and we had our students, PhD student Ivana Božović and Herbert Mugabe from the Faculty of Medicine, and undergraduate student Jelena Branković representing Faculty of Pharmacy. So I think that we had a really fruitful conversation and discussion. We were talking about the global health, tried to define it, but it's always hard to find the right definition. But at the end, we agreed that the mission of global health is to give us a healthy planet. And of course, this is a very, very hard thing to do. So we are facing a lot of challenges when it comes to education and research and various activities in this field. So we were discussing some of these challenges. We have mentioned, for example, the endeavors we made to provide equity in the field and our possibility to be as much as interdisciplinary as we can be, because this is the field that should not only include medical faculties, it should also include other faculties. We were talking about some challenges that both PhD and master students are facing in the fields, and trying to find some opportunities and some solutions for these challenges. We were also talking about the importance of non-governmental institutions and their inclusion in the global health agenda. And also, we have also discussed the importance of media coverage regarding the global health issues. So at the end, I think that we have all agreed that we should all work together. Educators, scientists, researchers, students, government, non-governmental bodies, stakeholders, we should all work together to be able to promote evidence-based global health in the future. And that is something that should be our aim.
Thank you, Alexandra. You really answered to the core line of this conference from university to policy. So I think we, yes, if there
if somebody would like to add something from the workshop, maybe I have missed some important point. Okay. Then it's a coffee time.
Coffee break.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Da počinjemo? 1, 2, 1, 2, proba, trebalo bi da se čujemo dobro. Hvala, hvala Bojana. Hello everyone. Dear and honored colleagues, our dear professors, mentors, our dear students, dear colleagues, dear representatives of the Circle U Alliance, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kristina, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the final event of the Circle U Challenge program, where today, as part of the national conference, Circle U Days from Academia to Policy, we officially end the 6-month open innovation program intended for student teams who wanted to try their hand at entrepreneurial activities. The very beginning of this program dates back to the very beginning of the Circle U project, and several months of work and effort by partner universities within the Circle U Alliance resulted in the design and development of a program that aims to focus on academic entrepreneurship and academic innovation, but also the importance of interinstitutional, international, and inter-university collaboration. The student teams officially started their work in October 2022. A dynamic period of creative work followed to develop innovative solutions for the challenges within the program, and today we gather here to collect experiences and see the results we achieved together. I sincerely congratulate all partner universities and all student teams for their commitment and achieved results. And please, applause for all of us and all of them. And now I would like to invite Professor Melina Kalagasidis-Krušić, leader of Working Package 4 and leader of the entire activity, to address the audience and present the Circle U Challenge program in more detail. Professor Melina, please.
Thank you, Kristina. General Secretary of Circle U Alliance, dear Kevin, dear colleagues, dear students, dear guests, welcome to University of Belgrade and the final event of the Circle U Challenge program developed by Work Package 4. This package is focused on students and their education, and the main goal is to develop or improve entrepreneurial skills and mindset of our students. To achieve this goal, we have different approaches. Our academic chairs helped us to develop online course on sustainability and entrepreneurship available for all level studies, bachelor, master, and PhD studies. And the first one was hosted last year at the Faculty of Louvain-la-Neuve, and the second will be in the upcoming winter semester at the same faculty, university. 25 students already passed this course, so we are very satisfied. We also established the Female Founder Network, which is another approach for our goal. We combine academia, non-academia, and students. And later this afternoon, there will be a session related to Female Founder Network, and you will have a chance to see what we've already done and what will be in the future. So I invite all of you to come to the Female Founder Network. So we have a lot of activities, online, offline combined, and the last one was retreat in Paris this March, when our students prepare a Female Founder Manifesto with the goals and the plans for the next academic years. So come to see it. And the Circle U Challenge program is the third approach to achieve our goal. So as you know, we have associate partners, we call them challengers. They are university hospitals and local authorities like city municipalities. And our challengers have everyday problems which are not yet solved sustainably. So each challenger had to choose the problem and gave to students to solve it in a sustainable and innovative manner. And that solution could help our challengers, could improve their work, and of course give benefit to society. So there are a lot of activities, a lot of job, and I can say it was really hard and difficult at the beginning, especially we started in Corona time, and more than 1 year we just meet each other online, Zoom, 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 and when you want to change, then you schedule a meeting via Teams, so it was really awful. Finally, last year, we met in person. It was exactly a year ago in Belgrade, and I think it was breaking point for the work package 4. Everything goes better, and we were more efficiency, and we got new ideas, we met each other in person, we make nice cooperation, and I can say friendship. So I would like to thank to all my colleagues for this, and first I will start from my VP leads, Victoria Nagy from Université Paris-Cité. Please, Victoria. Then I would like also to thank my VP leads who unfortunately couldn't come to Belgrade. Julie Devonshire from King's College London, Jette Hammer from Oslo, Hendrik Schultz from, Jette Hammer from Aarhus, and Hendrik Schultz from Oslo, and Benoit Rosen from Louvain. Also, I would like to thank the colleagues who really work hard for the challenge and for the Female Founder Network, Marie de Krusse from Aarhus, Andriana Hansen from Aarhus, Solveig Kolstad also from Aarhus, Ari B. Anderson from Oslo, Kristen Kammer from King's, Ruby Walsh, Patricia Cavelli, Jessica Hornwell also from King's, and also I would like to thank Tamara Milosavljevic from University of Belgrade. And I would like to thank my academic chairs, Vesna Damjanovic from University of Belgrade, Amélie Jacquemin from Louvain-la-Neuve, she's not here, Taran Thun from Oslo, Morten Foss from Aarhus, Duško Ilić from King's, and Nicolas Lomeni from Université Paris-Cité. Okay, I would like also to thank to all professors and expert mentors who worked with our students and other colleagues from University of Belgrade and other universities who helped us to achieve these goals. And finally, I would like to say thanks, Christina, my right hand. So it's time to give the floor to the students. So we have more than 3,000 students applied for this challenge. Of course, that some of them dropped off at the very beginning of this program. Some of them dropped off during the program. Today, we have 43 students and 10 teams. Of course, that we have more students and more teams, especially the King's College of London and University of Aarhus. But you know, during this program, the students teams had pitches, and each university choose the best teams and the best solutions. So this final event, it's not competition, it's a review of the best teams and best solutions. The student teams are national and international, and all of them are multidisciplinary teams because interdisciplinarity is necessary to solve the problem. So let's see what we did. Did we make it? So the final event is officially open, and please big applause to support and encourage our students.
Thank you very much, Professor Melina. So before we begin with the main part of today's event, I'd like to say a few words about the concept of what's to come today. You will have the opportunity to find out more about the challenges that the partner universities jointly defined in cooperation with their associated partners, or challengers as we like to call them. A representative of each partner university that participated in the program will address the audience and present in more detail the problem that the students' teams actually solved in the previous months. After the challenge presentations, we will listen to the student teams, of course. The students will present the solutions they have developed with a 5-minute pitch presentation, explain how the solution works and what benefits they bring to the end users, and also how they contribute to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. Most of the student teams, or at least team representatives, are here with us today, but a few teams will present their solutions through videos that we will watch together. Our goal today, as Professor Melina also said, is to show all the results of the 6-month work and all the solutions that the students came up with through creative work. For those teams here with us today, the pitch will be followed by a 5-minute Q&A session with our dear members of the panel jury. And regarding that, it is my great pleasure to welcome and introduce the members of the expert panel jury. So we have Tamara Čolić-Milosavljević, a technology transfer manager at the Center for Technology Transfer of the University of Belgrade, Morten Foss, senior researcher at Aarhus University and one of the academic chairs within the Working Package 4 of the CircleU project, Anna Rebman, lecturer in social entrepreneurship at King's College London, David Sidban, CircleU manager from Université Paris-Cité, and Adriana Maria Hansen, business developer at Aarhus University. After the presentation of student solutions, we will also watch short testimonials from associated partners and hear their experiences about the entire program, working with universities and students, as well as their impressions of the results the students achieved. Some of the Challenger representatives are here with us today, and we are extremely glad to be able to host them, but I would like to take the opportunity to thank all the Challengers once again for their cooperation, because one thing is certain: without their or your problems, today we wouldn't even get to all the great innovative solutions we're about to get to know. So, without further ado, let me introduce the first partner university and its representative, our dear colleague Meride Kruse from Aarhus University. Meride, please join us because you will first introduce the challenge, Aarhus Eats Greener, and then your students will pitch their solution.
Hello. My name is Merete, and I come from Aarhus University, from the kitchen, which Adriana, my colleague, will introduce later. It's an incubator environment in the Department of Enterprise and Innovation at Aarhus University. And as Christina said, I have been part of the challenge track. Our challenger was Aarhus Municipality, and you can see the town hall there in this picture. The name of the challenge was Aarhus Eat Greener. We were in the climate track, but Aarhus Municipality chose to zoom in on food as a single area of influence on the climate impact. So the question they asked the students was, how can we engage and motivate citizens to change their food habits, accessing, handling, eating, to habits with a lower CO2 equivalent footprint? And the reason they did this was because they have committed to the Paris Agreement. And in order to comply with the Paris Agreement, they have to lower the CO2 emissions. And they have to go quite a far way, as you can see, from 17 tons to 2 tons of CO2. And if you're familiar with the term scope 1, 2, and 3, they have influence on the scope 1 and 2, the direct emissions. But the scope 3 is also an area where they can get some of these CO2 reductions, but they can only do this by involving citizens. And so zooming in on the food, they have calculated that 3 out of the 17 tons of their CO2 emissions come from food. So this is why it's an area worth solving. It's a problem worth solving. And also the citizens say they are ready to make an impact on this area. 74% of the citizens think that they have a responsibility to make a contribution to reducing the climate impact. And almost half of the citizens are interested in changing their habits. But as you well know, there is often a gap between intention and action. So that's why it's kind of a difficult area, and that's why they asked the students to contribute with their good ideas to how they could solve it. And I will now pass the floor to the students.
Thank you, Merete.
All right, so we're the team from Denmark, from Aarhus University. Yeah, and we're here to talk about our solution. So imagine a city, not just Aarhus, it can really be anywhere, any small community where they eat green in a very sustainable way. Think about how that could be achieved while we introduce ourselves. My name is Marie-Louise Bengtsson. I study food science.
And I'm Andreas. I study a bachelor's in economics and business administration.
And I'm Senne, and I study psychology.
Right, so we came up with the concept first for our idea, so that's what I'm going to talk about. We focused it very much around nudging and gamification, and we kind of completed, or the idea is about that we have a campaign with an online workshop where we will give out these green recipes with a shopping list for the employees of the municipality. Another aspect is the competition that will be between different teams, departments of, again, the employees of the municipality. And to actually make the action part that Merete talked about, we wanted to develop a dialogue tool so that could kind of spark a good conversation at the lunch table during work time. Yeah, so this is our solution. And you could ask, well, we had to engage the citizens, but we chose the employees of the municipality, and we chose those because they were kind of within the framework of the municipality, and that was very important for us, that it could have a direct impact.
Yeah, so now you heard about our solution, and how did we do this then? First off, we had a long talk together with the employees of Aarhus Municipality on how we could do this. So we conducted a pilot to the solution, where we took the main topics from our solution and earlier findings from Aarhus Municipality to test in this pilot. Then we created 3 goals for the pilot, where we had 12 participants from different departments for 5 days. So these are the impactful CO2 changes in food habits Aarhus Municipality already knows works. Switch from animal-based to plant-based, switch from beef and lamb to pork, poultry and fish, and reduce food waste. So the strategies that they know already work is make it social, make it attractive, make it easy, meaningful and sensible. All in all, this meant that it correlated with our focus of making it fun to change habits. So these were our 3 goals for the pilot: eating greener and healthier, creating a social impact, and getting inputs from the participants. And Sanne will talk more about this when she shows you our actual products now.
Yeah, so overall, the visual identity of our project had a very colorful and engaging vibe, and also had a focus on a more playful language to take that formal stuff away from the competition. And that's our invitation. It's in Danish, so sorry, for the participants, with the slogan, "Do you want a carrot?" Yeah, so we created 5 recipes for the 5-day competition, and they were both informative by comparing a normal dish like spaghetti bolognese with meat in it to our own recipes. They were healthy, easy and cheap, and they had a focus visually on the CO2 equivalent in the different ingredients. Yeah, and furthermore we made a dialogue tool, as Marie-Louise said, to kickstart this conversation at the workplace to make a good work environment. Yeah. So the competition itself had some different elements. First of all, we sent out a survey each day of the competition, so they could answer if they actually did make the recipes or not. So we could score based on that. And at the same time, giving them the feedback every day with the scoreboard. And if you did not make the recipes, you could still have some points because, yeah, we would rather give them a carrot than something else. And for instance, to lower the food waste, we would give them a lot of points for eating leftovers. Yeah. So lastly, we gave them a final survey to figure out if it actually was a nice idea or not. And we had some very nice responses.
Yeah, and going to these responses, as you can see here, we had a lot of findings, so we'll try to make it short now. As the days went by, motivation for answering our daily surveys lowered, and actually only 21 of the 60 possible recipes were made, with a response rate of 92% over the 5 days. Overall, the employees had a very positive attitude towards the project and the material that we sent out, so we know that our language and our colorful and playful ways of including the participants worked. We were also asked by the participants to create tiers or levels to comply with different starting points on eating CO2 friendly. So this could further motivate them to, you could say, rise in the ranks of being more sustainable. Yeah.
Right, so I think we're overall pretty happy with our results from the pilot. I think if we would have had more time and resources, that's always the thing, right? That's always the problem. We would definitely have made an app or a web page, and combined with a larger amount, I think we would have more trustworthy pilot, or just, yeah, it's really about scalability that's important here. But again, we started with a pilot and God knows where we will end. But actually a funny thing, so a lot of the employees' children, they really like the competition part. We had a little back and forth between the employees, some liked it, some didn't. But it just shows that this solution is not just for the municipality, it could be spread out wider to the society. Yeah. So with that, I think we would like to ask, do you guys have any questions? Of course, we expect some from the judges, but bring it on.
Thank you.
Let me assist you with that. So you have a question.
So thank you very much for a nice pitch. So one question would be, assuming that all people in Aarhus did this, how much would that impact in CO2 equivalents?
So thank you for asking that, Morten. We actually do have calculated on it. So by using our recipes during the 5 days of the pilot phase, we found that the 12 employees, they saved 67 kilos of CO2e. And if we imagine that all of the 28,000 employees in Aarhus municipality did this, this would equivalent to 31 tons of CO2e per day. And keep in mind that the numbers were going from 17 to 2 per day. So this would mean a lot to the solution. Yeah. Any other questions?
Here you go, Anna.
Thank you very much for a really interesting presentation. Your solution focuses on kind of the gamification concept, and I was just wondering why you chose that as the kind of motor for change, and what, if you'd looked into any research behind this to back up your choices.
Yes, we do. The gamification part was mainly because making it fun was a main goal for us, and study shows that yeah, the more fun and engaging a habit change is made, it's easier to to stay in that habit, and doing it together with other people will, make you stay in and stick to the competition and also to the habits.
Yeah, as an add-on to this, this is maybe going a bit off topic, but I'm currently employed as a sales and marketing op for a company who's trying to lower water waste in especially Great Britain, and we have done some studies with Surrey University on gamification working to solve this problem too. So we've led on from the results from that.
But again, as we talked about, I mean, I think some people are definitely turned on by it, some are not. So that's definitely one of the downsides. I mean, for example, I wouldn't necessarily be super motivated by it, but that's, you know, something that can be worked on, I think.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
We were very inspired by the counting steps competitions at workplace and driving on the bike to the workplace as well. So that's also like why the gamification thing inspired us. Yeah.
Yes.
One more.
Thank you very much for the pitch. I had a question following Martin's question on the impact. You have targeted 12 employees for the pilot phase, but at the end of the day, you didn't only focus on 12 employees, but they have the family involved with the children. Was that something you anticipated, or is this a good surprise? And could you take this into account when you calculate the number of CO2 consumption?
So we very much intended to be it to make it a family thing for the participants, engaging also kids and the husbands and the wives of the participants. So yeah, this was definitely a part of the solution also.
Also, again, with the habit change, it's easier to change habits if the people around you do the same thing. And yeah, the more people who were participating, the more CO2 are spared. So happy.
Please, short one.
So congratulations again. This is really interesting approach, and I would try it. So I can't wait. Please send us the application when you finish it. But did you consider, because you were talking about collecting points, maybe to link it to rewarding based systems? So in reality, they could maybe buy some healthy foods and discounted prices, something like that. That would affect, have even greater impact. Thank you.
We tried very much to go away from the private sector and working together with supermarkets and so on, because the case was revolving around the municipality and the citizens. So we had our focus was on the habit changes and how we could do this as the environment is now, and not working together with private companies to fund this. You could say, I would say our solution is very scalable in many directions. So this could be a possibility in the future, yeah, surely. Thank you for your questions.
Thank you very much. Okay, that was really interesting.
There was one more question. There was one more question from
So right now, thank you guys once again. We will now watch a short testimonial from the associated partner of the Aarhus University.
Hi, my name is Sara Andersson. I'm the program lead of Aarhus Transitions, which is the part of Aarhus Municipality's climate plan that focuses on involving and engaging all citizens in Aarhus in the green transition. We have collaborated with students from the Circle U Challenge on a project focusing on getting people in Aarhus to eat greener. This has a lot of potential, since this is a way to greatly reduce the municipality's CO2 emissions in Scope 3. The students have chosen to work with our employees and inspiring them to more climate-friendly food habits. And this makes a lot of sense because we're a big employer, and if people at work learn about green food habits and get inspiration and tools that they bring back home, this will also influence their families and potentially their social circles. And bit by bit, we can change the social norm around food. We have done some smaller tests before in trying to inspire employees to eat greener. So for us, it's really interesting to see what kind of tools and methods and angles that the students have chosen in this project to test with our employees. So the concept the students have come up with is a challenge where right now several teams with employees are testing eating dinner at home with new green recipes. So there's a competition element where the teams battle against each other, and there's an inspiration element where they get presented to new curated climate-friendly food recipes. So we're very curious to see how this combination of elements will work, and the students have already promised we can use their recipes in our further work, and we will definitely also use all of the insights coming out of this project in all of our future activities on food. I think one advantage of testing a concept like this in a student collaboration is that our colleagues have responded positively to joining this test, also because they're also curious to see and experience what the students bring in. We have, in general, very positive experiences with student collaboration in the forms of internships and student helper positions and graduation projects. To sum up, it's been a very positive experience to collaborate with the students on this challenge. They have been very enthusiastic and eager in both understanding this problem at hand and the context that we're operating in. We're still in the middle of this test, but again, we're certain that the outcomes of this project and the learnings from it will definitely be a great help in the future projects we will be doing on motivating people to eat greener. Hi, my name is Sarah Andersson. I'm the...
Okay, applause please for your presenter. Thank you once again for Aarhus University, their associated partner, and of course, great idea that you just presented to us. Moving on to the second partner university, it was the only one that had two different challenges for students. Professor Melina Kalagasidis-Krušić will present both of the University Belgrade's challenges, and I would like to ask her to start with the first one, and that's the software solution for the University Clinical Center of Serbia.
Thank you. So you see the University Clinical Center prepared two challenges. One is dedicated to its employees, and the second one to the specific group of the patient. So the University Clinical Center has approximately 8,000 employees, and pay attention on their professional education and development. And to monitor that process is sometimes very hard. So the clinical center asks students to make a software by which they can monitor that process fast and precisely. So let's see what they prepared.
Thank you very much. Now I would like to ask the student team that worked on solving this challenge with its software solution HR Doctor to present their idea. One applause for you guys.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. It is a great honor to be here and present our solution. My name is Milena, and together with my team, Sara, Anya, and Dusan, we solved this challenge, and I'm super glad to see Dr. Alexandra, our challenger, here present with us. So without further ado, medicine is an ever-evolving field with new techniques and new methodologies evolving every day. So willingly or unwillingly, doctors are forced to be lifelong learners. But the requirements government proposed to them require of them to get certification to renew their licenses. So they need to attend different kinds of education. This makes this field a growing one. But the processes, administrative processes regarding the tracking of these lifelong journeys are hard to follow, are very complex, are time-consuming, and are prone to errors. So the University Clinical Center of Belgrade is not an exception of this. You can see Dr. Alexandra here. She is the person in charge for the whole education in the Clinical Center of Belgrade. And you can also see the piles of paper she works with every day. When any doctor is employed, the record of their education is created. And whenever they decide to go to a symposium, to present a paper at some conference, the record needs to be updated. Currently, in the Clinical Center of Belgrade, we have more than 2,000 doctors. And in order to renew their licenses, they need to attend at least 2 educations a year. Imagine how hard it is to track all of it, how hard it is to prepare just one report. And Dr. Alexandra, unfortunately, does that on paper. She doesn't have a centralized database, and we helped her out. That is why we created the HR Doctor. That is the first knowledge management solution tailor-made for the healthcare. And we made everything Dr. Alexandra and all the people in this field need available just one click away. What we did is create a software that helps track KPIs regarding the HR and the knowledge management. But we also implemented data analytics and data-driven decision-making tools into it, and created tailor-made reporting system that can help and track financials that are very important in these institutions. In order to make HR Doctor work, we made it in the native language, in Serbian for start, and we also made it user-friendly. But in order for our consumers, the end users, to fully understand how to use this software, besides providing a user manual, we also pre-filmed the tutorials and are willing to provide user support. On these slides, you could also see how our software looks like. But what I would really like to stress out is that the University Clinical Center here in Belgrade is not the only facility that could use our help and could use our software. We also have other healthcare providers in Serbia that need this kind of software solutions. But the healthcare industry is not the only one that could use a software like this, because pharmaceutical as well as education sector here needs some kind of similar KPI tracking systems. So this makes our solution very scalable. But besides being scalable, our solution is also sustainable, because we believe that throughout tracking these KPIs and measuring the progress, we can tackle 4 SDGs that you can see on this slide. To conclude, it was a great honor to solve this challenge. We owe a big thanks to our lead mentor, Professor Nataša Petrović. She is here with us. And our team firmly believes that with a good management system supported by our HR doctor, we can drive the educational excellence of the whole healthcare system here in Serbia and then in the Southern Eastern Europe region as well. Thank you so much for your attention. And we welcome your questions, of course.
Okay, any questions, Adriana?
Hi, thank you for a very nice presentation. I have a question regarding digitalization. Why don't you think this has happened sooner? Do you think people are skeptical towards using this kind of tools, or what would you believe the reason is?
Okay, so there are multiple reasons for this not being done sooner. One of them is the resources that have not been available previously, but also the time and the effort needed to be put into a software like this. And we, to best of our knowledge, did not find a solution like this that can be bought. We saw a lot we found a lot of ERPs or some different kinds of solutions that could help the whole system, but they do not tackle the issues of knowledge management. So that is why this specific software, our HR doctor, needed to be created.
Thank you very much for a really interesting solution, and you presented it very coherently, and it sounds like a great result. I was just wondering about the sustainability of it in the long run, in terms of like how will it continue, because software obviously needs maintenance, new systems come in place. Do you think this is possible? Do you have plans for this? How can that be achieved?
Okay, so this is our startup idea actually, and we think that we would be able to maintain the whole system and expand, and acquire some different consumers. I mentioned the industries, I mentioned the other healthcare providers that could use our help, but yeah, we see this as a business opportunity, so I think that kind of answers your question. We do believe that providing customer support actually is very important, and in order to use this software solution, our HR doctor, we would need to tweak it a little bit. We would need to make some changes because this is a tailor-made software. So if we wanted to implement it in some other healthcare institution, we would also need to just change something, for example, those reports that are needed.
Thank you. I had a question regarding the education of doctors. So they have to be trained whether they want it or not. How easy is it to find the trainings, and how easy will it be to implement a catalog in your app?
So if I understood your question correctly, you're asking how easy it is to find the educations and how easy it is to track them all. Well, currently very hard, especially the tracking system, as it's in paper-based form. But as far as the finding education goes, I think that's very easy because most of the current employees at the Clinical University Center of Belgrade are also researchers. So they're frequently going to different kinds of education, seminars, symposiums, and conferences. And the tracking system with our HR doctor is now being fixed. So we think we made it easy for the end user, and I think Dr. Alexandra can confirm that.
Thank you once again. Miloše, please, can we see the testimonial of Dr. Alexandra?
Project CU Alliance is created with an idea to form unique European collaboration to find some solution, sustainable solution, and including education, research, innovation between 9 universities. To meet these goals, University of Belgrade and University Clinical Center of Serbia work together as the biggest health institution in the region. KCS was helped to develop a solution. Thanks to organized competition, challenge, students found a sustainable solution for the real problem. They broadened their horizon, research units, meeting new system, and they have a chance to present here their ideas. Project CU Alliance is created.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the second challenge from the University of Belgrade. Professor Melina, once again, can you please introduce us to the challenge photogrammetry of the Graves' orbitopathy patients?
Yes, as you can see, so that's challenge is dedicated to a specific group of patients who suffered of Graves' orbitopathy. So we know that as a disease of eyes. And measuring and documenting the signs of disease is crucial for treatment of patients and of course for follow-up. So the doctor who is responsible for this challenge asks students to make a tool by which he can make the photo of the patient, measures specific characteristic parameters on the face, and upon that data made the decision about the treatment, knows how the disease will progress, and everything he needs. And it is very interesting because it will help doctor. It is very good for it. It's better for patient. It's good for clinical practice. It's good to make base with database, and also, which is very important, it is useful for future students of medicine. So let's see.
Thank you once again. And now I would like to hear from the team, TED Pick, what is hidden behind their solution. So I kindly ask students to join us and present their results.
Hello everyone, we are from TEDPIC, company that is developing application that helps doctors check symptoms of Graves' orbitopathy. This is our multidisciplinary team, and we are students from 3 different institutions: Faculty of Chemistry, Faculty of Medicine, and School of Electrotechnical Engineering. Graves' orbitopathy, or thyroid eye disease, is disease that primarily targets women. It's autoimmune and lifelong illness. It causes the, damage and inflammation to the muscles of the eyes, fat, and connective tissues. In Serbia, there is approximately 6,120 patients and around 400 endocrinologists, which means there is not enough specialists that can follow this disease. When a patient goes to the doctor for a regular checkup, doctor will measure eyes with a specialized ruler, and then he will write down measurements. Then he will observe redness of the eyes subjectively, and then he will measure openness of the eyes with a regular ruler. This can be time-consuming. It requires often visits to the doctor and has margin for the error that is very important. We believe that with our solution, we're making this whole process way easier.
We created a unique app that will completely replace and improve traditional subjective way of measurement. Our app consists out of 2 separated parts, the interface for user and the brain of the app. This is how the doctor will see the app. The doctor uses the interface to upload picture of the patient, and the app then guides doctor to the next steps. The brain of the app is working in the back, and it consists out of 3 separated parts. In the first step, we are doing the normalization of the image. Depending on the light in which the patients took the picture in, we do the color correction of the image, and then we calculate the size of 1 pixel on the face. In the second step, we are using artificial intelligence to find the face on the picture. The deep neural networks are being used for more efficient and faster facial recognition. In the third and final step, we are using the normalized image and the key points of the eyes to calculate the redness of the eyes, the enlargement of the eyes, and the pupil position.
What did we achieve with our application? Our solution gives a more standardized report. Also, we are allowing doctors to track patients remotely. It's completely unique digital way of tracking thyroid eye disease, and it provides better medical record keeping. With our solution, we are directly or indirectly targeting these sustainable development goals through these actions. We are ensuring access to quality healthcare for everyone. We are reducing climate gas emission through telemedicine. Then we are improving management of a disease that primarily targets women. And also we are allowing partnership between 3 different sectors. Last, but most importantly, we presented our solution to the doctor, and application received amazing reviews from doctor and his colleagues. Thank you for the attention.
Okay, there's a lot of you there, so you can assist me maybe with jury members. Jaslav. Okay, thank you.
So thank you very much for a nice presentation. I was wondering, now you're doing a new test, right? So have you done any considerations of the risk of false positives, false negatives, and how you validate this model versus the old one?
So another part of the app is the ability for the doctor to check how the eye was segmented, and the doctor can manually improve the segmentation of the eye. So they can basically move the borders. So in that way, we are reducing this error margin which you mentioned. So yeah.
Okay, any more questions? Yeah, Anna?
Thank you. I think just to build on that, though, it was also what are the tests that you've done, say, taking measurements that existed of the old method versus your new method, and how reliable it is, and what were the testing processes for that you went through?
Like, for example, the redness of the eye, it's completely subjective. You can not say how much percentage of the redness, the eye is red. So when you have the picture, you can calculate each pixel, and you can say the much more precise results, for example, for that. And when it comes to physical tools that the doctor is using, also they're not as precise as taking a pixel from the top of the eye and to the end of the eye.
Can I just add on to that? So the network that we're using for facial recognition, it's it's an already pre-made model, and there are papers done by TensorFlow Foundation that check the correctness and standardized error measurements of how precise the actual face recognition is, and eye segmentation region. Now, for the furthermore, we should, as a part of further development of our app, to do a test of our own to see how, what's the standard deviation of our error and so on. So, and that's something that we plan on to do in the future.
And so another thing is that it's really hard to find a data set on which we could test our model. And another thing that we are aiming is to create a standardized data set which other researchers could use. And we are aiming to let other researchers use our data set, so they can even improve our solution and even come up with another solutions. Yeah, so that's another big value of our team.
That's it?
Yeah.
I was just wondering what the regulatory context is for this, because I was thinking if it's a medical device, if you were in the UK context, you'd have to go through the regulator and be approved, and I was wondering what the situation is in the Serbian context for these things.
Do they know the answer to that? No one wants to answer that.
Yeah, currently we did not pass any regulations. It is not an app that can be used at this point as a device. But we talked to the doctor, and the doctors would need to do some calculations and provide some testing on about at least 50 patients to see what is the error, so it can actually be used in everyday work. Any more questions?
Detect the pupil. So I think that can be useful for some other eye disease, which could be followed by just visual checking of the patients, and it would provide a standardized way for the doctors to follow the symptoms for some other disease. And we are aiming to even further fine-tune and improve the pre-trained model with our data set, so it would work special with grave disease patients. Yeah.
Okay.
With this idea, and you're quite a large team. Do you feel you have the skills here and the
We absolutely do feel that we have the skills, and we are very motivated to continue working on this, as well as our partners from the medical university here in Belgrade. So, yeah.
Okay, I can see some hands in the public, but may I ask you to approach students in the break or something like that? Because, sorry, we are really short on the time. We have a tiny schedule, so please feel free to approach them and ask them whatever you want. You won't be limited with a time or number of questions. Please, and sorry for this. Thank you guys very much. And now we will see a short testimonial from the end user.
The benefit of collaboration between our institution and the international and academic community is the exchange of ideas, and another point is that materialization of these ideas. So having an idea as something non-material and translating it to something that we can use in everyday work. So in a way, it's a kind of translational science. So the cooperation with Circular was great. Students had fantastic ideas. And you know, there is a saying that when the old professor said that something can be done, it can be done. When he said that something cannot be done, ask someone younger. So they did a great job. They made a fantastic combination of software and hardware in order to solve a very difficult question in my field. So I believe that we are going to have a wonderful software, very nice software-hardware combination that can be used internationally. The benefit of collaboration.
Okay, thank you. The next partner university that will present its challenge and the results of students who solved it is the University of Oslo. And I would like to ask my colleague, Dierv Svermer, to address us in front of the University of Oslo and tell us more about their challenge, car-free livability.
Thank you. The challenge of Oslo is about making for a car-free livability. The basic thought behind car-free livability is that by removing a good number of vehicles in the inner city center, it creates possibilities for a more vibrant and diverse city. Regulations is already in place, essentially removing a lot of parking spots and central roads. And like so many of our cities, Oslo is a city that for decades have been planned and built with car use in mind. In order to be successful, the car-free areas must attract people. Businesses needs to retain or increase customers while becoming more sustainable. We need to change or rediscover how we use our city. We are looking for ideas that will contribute to a people-centered, lively and thriving city center. We have a couple of student projects here that have taken the challenge. I leave the floor to them to show what they have been working on. First up is a company called Yours.
Thank you, Dierv, for your announcement. And now I would like to ask the student team that was developing actually a solution for the Oslo Challenge, Yours, to introduce themselves to us with their pitch presentation.
Hi, so I'm Muskan. Together with Katrina and Maxime, we present to you Yours. So let's imagine you're a local restaurant owner in Oslo, and what would be your priority? To get easy, quick, and timely access to your goods even in the car-free zone, right? And this is what we are going to focus in the next 5 minutes. So due to the Oslo street becoming car-free, the restaurant owners are subjected to have the deliveries during a limited time. So sometimes they have to be there at night or early morning to get their deliveries. And due to this, it also contributes to an additional expense for the restaurant. And so we focused on a solution that is sustainable and cost effective without you have to be compromising on the quality and timely delivery of your products. Next.
So first we wanted to show you some of today's solutions, and so in hope that you will understand better a day-to-day struggle of the restaurant owners. The main issue with arranging the perfect solution is basically the limited time for delivering the goods, followed by night shifts that are quite expensive. And even if you choose to have your goods delivered during the day, busy streets make it impossible, and basically restaurant owners are left with no access to fresh goods. So the market is quite big and is constantly growing, but there are only few suppliers that are aware of this problem that's actually growing with its market. The reason we decided for Norway, it's because of the local regulations and the city policy. So this is...
So we bring to yours, which tries to simplify logistics, making deliveries using sustainable transport in the car-free zone. So you manage, the solution is quite cost-effective as it is lowering your expensive. You can tailor it according to your needs. You can tailor the cart according to your needs, and we can deliver it any time and any day that you choose. And we deliver using environmental friendly technology, fresh products, and anytime and any day.
Allow to the day and time you choose, a website will show products that are available. Or customer can create a new order or modify an existing one, like adding products or changing delivery time. Restaurants can also repeat an order, like if, as an example, need the same product every day. And when they have selected their products, they can choose delivery options. All goods are first delivered by a truck to a warehouse, and then all orders are delivered by bike to the restaurants. This delivery process reduces the number of trucks needed for delivery, and trucks don't have to go downtown anymore. Warehouse location is strategic. They must be outside city center and easily accessible for trucks, but they also need to reach a significant number of restaurants. As an example, the red circle indicates the area accessible within 15 minutes by bike. So the warehouse can potentially reach all restaurants that are in this area.
So we are supporting local farmers and making the transition smoother. And if we succeed with this, we can show that living in a car-free zone and adapting to it is not impossible.
Basically, we're focusing on B2B, offering our users sustainable transportation, but also choosing the vehicle that's going to deliver the goods. But we also want we also want our users to have the option of knowing exactly where do the goods come from. And also, we believe that tracking your order is quite important for every restaurant owner because their days are quite busy. But clicking and collecting the order in our store is also something that we find quite important and quite new in this whole idea. The reason we believe we're more than capable of facing this challenge is because we are providing some expertise in transport and logistics, but also business administration and business engineering.
We would like to end by saying use a sustainable transportation so you make the world a better place and keep the planet cold. As said by Karen Erd, we don't inherit the earth from our ancestors, but we borrow it from our children. Thank you.
Okay, if you can also help me with the members of the jury. Questions?
Thank you again for a very nice presentation. So I was wondering, how many % is actually transportation of goods, and what about transportation of persons, right? Because here you only focus on one aspect, as I understand it. So how big a percentage is actually the goods delivery? Do you know that? I mean, you want a car-free city, right? But there's also transportation of people.
Yes, but we focused on the transportation of goods because in the city center there are many restaurants, and we believe that restaurants and offices have their requests during the day, and transportation of people in the city centers is possible and has some technologies that are already developed, but B2B sort of business is not still developed, or at least not in a sustainable way. So,
like if you order something like on a weekly basis, that's not fresh. So we focused on restaurants so that they can have it like every day if they want, and yeah, they can have it during the car-free time they have in Oslo.
Okay, Tamara?
Congratulations, guys. So can you tell us more about the impact? Actually, do you have some maybe calculations about the effects of utilization of this solution, positive effects?
So we are yet to run a pilot survey, a pilot project on it, but how we made the solution was, since we come from different universities in different cities, we are not from Oslo, so we went to our own local restaurants and we talked to them of what are the challenges and problems that they faced. And according to their, what all the problems, we managed to make the solution. So I guess that's how we're going forward. Does that answer the question?
we sort of believe that every city, if it has the intention of going car-free, will face the challenges like this. And that's the reason why we did the research in other cities, because we think that the Oslo is not the only city that will have this problem. But the calculations, because the whole system is quite complex, and the logistics, transportation, and everything requires more, not just expertise, but it requires pilot projects and requires some funding. So it's not as easy with just like having the website or something like that. Well, we've done the research, and the next phase would be pilot project. We have all the information and all the data. Yes, we have the prototype ready. We tested it, but so the next step is, yeah, pilot project.
Thank you very much for an interesting presentation. I was just wondering, in terms of you looking at competitors and your business model, it seems to me, if I've understood it correctly, is to integrate the whole sort of supply chain, that you'll connect with the suppliers and bring them in and so forth. Did you look at just like the end mile? Because it seems to me that your solution really is actually focusing on the fact that you've got bikes doing the last part of it, and that's the key bit for solving your problem, and that there are logistics providers that do kind of end, the last mile kind of solutions. And did you look at those in your research? I was wondering, why did you decide to integrate the whole process?
Well, every company that we found so far was the company that was actually providing B2C, so business to customers, but none of the companies actually bothered with like providing the goods and everything that the restaurant needs. So this is sort of a opposite of what they were doing, because we believe that the connection between farmers and between the local storages needs to be better for the restaurants, because the quality of their products actually depends on the quality of the goods.
Okay, if that's it, thank you very much. One applause for you. Now, let's see the testimonial from the associated partner. Yeah.
By establishing car-free zones, Oslo is both inventing and reinventing how we use our city. The students of Circle U have been asked to explore opportunities and solve challenges that arise when people, not cars, crowd the streets of Oslo. The basic thought behind car-free livability is that removing a number of private vehicles in the inner city centre creates possibilities for a more vibrant and diverse city. This will also contribute to the reduction of emissions and help Oslo reach its climate goals. Like so many of our cities, Oslo has for decades been planned and built with car use in mind. In order to be successful, the car-free areas must attract people. Businesses need to retain or increase customers, and we need to change or rediscover how we use our city and hopefully also inspire other cities.
Thanks to the University of Oslo and their partners. Okay, it's time for a break now. I kindly invite you to join us for lunch, and we will see each other back here at 1:45, so we have approximately 1 hour. Have a nice lunch, enjoy, and see you back here.